Da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-dum.
What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review. And today, very excited to check out Circus Flohcati from Grail Games. This is for 2 to 5 players, ages 7 plus. It'll take you about 15 minutes to play. And Circus Flohcati is a set collection, push your luck card game. It's a filler game from Dr. Reiner Nitze, which means it's going to have a lot of numbers. But is it good? Let's open it up and I'll tell you. Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Circus Flohcati. First and foremost, we got a handy dandy rule booklet. It's about 4 pages, double-sided, full color, and it's very well done. It should have you up and running in no time at all. It's a very simple game, and I can hopefully teach you how to play right now. So in Circus Flohcati, you are going to be trying to get the most points by getting sets of 3, aka 3 a set in front of you that have all the same number, and then also by having points in your hand at the end of the game, which will come in the form of various different cards with different colors. Doesn't make much sense now, but I'll show you how the game works, and then hopefully you'll be able to figure it out. So, first and foremost, component-wise, we got cards, and more cards. The majority of cards you're going to see are going to look like this. They're going to be various different colors with different numbers on them, and each one has a different fonts, as you can see up there. And there is 10 different colors in the game, and each different color is going to have 8 cards numbered 0 through 7. So this is the highest card that you're going to see in the game, and this is the highest pink card. There's only one of these in the game, so each card is very unique, except for the special action cards, which I'll get to next. So there are 3 kinds of special action cards in the game, and there are 3 of each of these in the game. So there are a grand total of 9 special action cards in the game. So we'll go over what they do. First one, when you flip over this card, you immediately take this action. You request 1 attraction from opponents. So you point to an opponent, and then they have to give you one of their cards, one of these, whichever one they want to give you that is in their hand. Next, you have the Magic Eye. Similar, but a little bit different. You're going to draw 1 attraction from an opponent. So when you flip over this card, you immediately are going to take a card randomly from one of your opponents. Last but not least, you have what's called the Great Parade. This one is one of my favorites. It's going to allow you to reveal new cards from the deck until duplicated, then take 1 card. So normally you'd be revealing cards, pushing your luck, hoping not to get duplicates. This one, you actually get to do that until you get a duplicate. Discard one of the cards, and then take whatever cards you want. So with that one, you really can have quite a lot of options to pick from. I'm getting ahead of myself, though, so let's show you how the game is played. So on your turn, what you're going to do is you are going to be drawing a card. But why do you want to get these cards is the question you're asking yourself. Well, there's 2 main reasons why. The first one is so that you can get sets of 3 in front of you, like, there we go, like so. Because if you're able to collect 3 of any number, doesn't matter what the colors are, like these 3 2s right here, this will be worth 10 points at the end of the game. 3 sets of 7, 10 points. 3 sets of 0, 10 points. If you have a set in front of you, you're going to get 10 points for it. The other way you're going to score points at the end of the game is that the cards that are in your hand. So let's just go ahead and grab these cards right here. Perfect. So let's just say that's the end of the game. These are the 4 cards left in my hand. Now you are going to score points based on the numbers in your hand that are all different colors. So you would score 6 points for this green. You would score 3 points for this red. You would score 7 points for whatever the heck color this is. And then this one does not score at all because you only score for your highest one of each color. So right now, you would have a grand total of 16 points in your hand and 10 points on the board. So you would have, 26 points at the end of the game. So what you're trying to do is get a whole bunch of high-scoring cards in your hand and also get some sets down here. Let's go over how the gameplay is going to work. So gameplay-wise, what you're going to do on your turn is you are going to either flip over more cards onto the table or draw one of the cards that is already on the table. So right now, there are no cards on the table, so obviously we're going to have to flip a card over. So we have a green 6. So our choice is we can take this card, put it into our hand and be happy, be on our merry way, which we probably would do because it's a good card, or we would flip and push our luck a little bit. Now, if we push our luck and we happen to get another green card, we go bust. So let's just flip it over and see if we get lucky. Boom, we did. So now we have a green 6 and a red 3, but we don't want any of that. We're looking for, say, a 7. So now, if we get another green card or another red card out here, we go bust. So let's see. Boom. We got ourselves a 7. This is exactly what we want. We have a green, we have a red, we have this, whatever this color is. So we didn't go bust, and we would pick up this card, and that would be the end of our turn. We put that in our hand. This is on the table, this is in your hand. They are different. So now the next player would go. They would have the option. They could either take this 6, they can take this 3, or they can draw a new card and flip it over. So let's just say they push their luck. They got a 6. They're looking for a 7, though. They flip this over, and uh-oh, colors match. They go bust. This card goes into the discard pile over here, which is public information, so everyone will be able to see which cards are not in the game anymore, because that is important, because as I mentioned, there's only exactly one card of each color and number. Then the next player would have their turn. So how does the game end, you may ask? The game ends once you've gone through all cards in the deck, or when someone has a gala show. A gala show is when you have all 10 different color of cards in your hand. Not on the table, but in your hand. If you're able to do that, you reveal it when it's your turn, and the game will immediately end. You get a 10-point bonus for signaling the gala show, and then you tally up your points. So you get 10 points for each card, or for each set down here, and then you'll get X amount of points based on the colors of your hand. Whoever has the most points will be the winner of Circus Flohcati, and that, in a nutshell, is how the game is played. Alright then, Circus Flohcati from Grail Games. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First on the con side, the game is not going to be for everybody for a couple different reasons. If you're not in the market for a filler game, you're going to want to steer clear. Period. This is 100% filler material, which is not going to be for everyone. Also, the graphic design in this game is poor at best. That's the nicest thing I can say about the graphic design. Now, I do enjoy the artwork on the cards and the pictures of the cards, and I think it's cool, but the graphic design choices are terrible. And you'll come into this where you're like, wait, what number is this on some of the fonts? And then I know they tried to differentiate the colors by putting different fonts on each one, but it still makes it very difficult because a lot of the colors look somewhat similar. So you're like, wait, which card do I need? Which color? I need this color? No, I need that color. And then, oh man. And it's just really frustrating, the graphic design choices here. They should have went with like checkers and stripes or something. They should have mixed it up so it wasn't just 10 different colors with different fonts. It's not a deal breaker, but it is definitely annoying. Another comment I had with it is that I did not like one of the... Which card was it? The Magic Eye card. There's 3 special ability cards in there. 2 of them are perfectly fine with. The one where you can do the mind reader and you say, alright, you have to give me a card, because that's fine. Most of the time you have an expendable card in your hand. Same with the Great Parade, where you just keep flipping over cards until you do get 2 and then you get to pick one. That's a great special ability card, and I like that. But I do not like the Magic Eye card, because in a game that has very little player interference, where very little things people can do can necessarily screw you over, aside from like taking your cards, this like that this little bit of take that, where it's like, ha, I grabbed your 7. Yeah, that could be a potential 14-point swing, and 14 points in this game is a lot of points, so I just didn't like that. Another thing that I wasn't the biggest fan of, but I'm sure it probably worked out, was how getting trios, like the first time you play, you'll be like, alright, I got 3 4s, boom, that gives me 10 points. Then you'll sit back and you'll be like, wait, if I would have just kept that in my hand, that most likely would have been 12 points. It just feels like sometimes making trios doesn't seem worth it. Now, granted, I feel like in order to win the game the majority of the time, you do have to have a diversified portfolio of a couple trios here and a couple high cards in your hand. But that is something that I do want to mention. Now, the last big con that I want to mention here is the fact that, this is Bowers Game Corner. I give you my opinion on the game, and I'm going to tell you that I like this game. I think it's a fun filler game, and I would add it to my collection in my filler game category. But I do want to mention that the majority of people that I played this with, their reactions were, meh, it's okay. I hate the graphic design. That was what most people said. Now, this doesn't happen to me too terribly often. Most of the time, either everybody will like it, everybody will hate it. We'll have a mixed bag, 50-50, 30, 70, something like that. But this was like me and one other person of the 10 people I played it with liked it, and then everybody else was just like, I could go without playing it ever again. So it is something that I definitely wanted to mention. Absolutely, this is a try before you buy. Now, going on to the pros, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy this game. It's light, it's simple, easy to learn, easy to teach, portable, everything I like here. And I like this kind of push-your-luck card game. Because, yeah, you could push your luck and you might get busted, or you could just take the card that's there, and then boom. And that kind of forces other people to, push their luck when they don't want to. And I like that. I also felt like it was very well balanced. I didn't feel like there was one strategy that was going to dominate every single time. I saw one where a guy had a bunch of trios and he won the game. I saw one where a guy raced to the gala and he had like 0s and 1s and a 2 in there, but each and every card he picked up was just a different color, and he ended the game extremely quick and won the game. And I feel, as I mentioned earlier, I feel like having a diversified portfolio, being able to have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, is going to win the majority of the time, but I feel like it's very well balanced. I just like it. I think it's a great, fun little filler game that I can recommend. The only thing that's knocking it down for me is, yes, the graphic design choices are bad. And yes, the majority of people that I played with didn't like it. So, Circus Flohcati. I'm a little bit torn on this one. I personally like the game, despite the graphic design errors, which are not that good. They're not errors, they're just poor choices. But the majority of people I did not like it. So, try before you buy. Circus Flohcati from Grail Games. I give a thumbs up. My game group, not so much. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know, what is your game that is like that you're like, man, I really like this game. And everybody in your game group is like, let's play something else. Because that stinks. I got another game. Another game from Korea Board Games last year. I think it's from Mayday now. Dungeon Busters, Super Dungeon Busters, where I really enjoyed the game. Another light filler, and everybody was like, And I hate when that happens because I really wanted to play it some more. But let me know in the comments below, what is a game that you really enjoy that your group's lukewarm on? And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.